Every day, old man Harrison would sit on the same park bench, rain or shine. His gaze would always drift to the old Victorian house across the street, a house that held all his memories, both sweet and bitter. He'd watch as a young couple, Lily and Tom, went about their lives, their laughter echoing like a distant melody from his own past. He never spoke to them, content to be a silent observer, a ghost in his own history. One crisp autumn morning, a moving truck pulled up to the house. Lily and Tom were leaving. Harrison's heart sank. He watched as they loaded boxers, their movements a dance of new beginnings. He felt a pang of loneliness, so sharp it took his breath away. The house, his house, would soon have new occupants, and another piece of his past would be erased. As the last box was loaded, Lily noticed the old man on the bench. She'd seen him there every day, a constant, silent presence. On a whim, she walked over. "Hello," she said, her voice soft. "We're moving out today. I just wanted to say goodbye. You've been a familiar face." Harrison was startled. He simply nodded, unable to find his voice. Lily smiled kindly. "Take care of yourself," she said, before turning to leave. As she walked away, something slipped from her pocket, a small, cream-colored envelope. Harrison saw it fall, but before he could call out, she was gone. He slowly walked over and picked it up. It was unsealed. Curiosity gnawed at him. He knew he shouldn't, but his hands trembled as he pulled out the letter. It wasn't from Lily. The handwriting was faint, elegant, and heartbreakingly familiar. It was from his Eleanor. "My dearest Henry," it began. Henry. No one had called him that in 50 years. He sank onto the bench, the world spinning. The letter was dated over half a century ago. "If you are reading this," it continued, "it means I never had the courage to give it to you. I'm leaving, Henry. My father is sending me away. He doesn't approve of us, of a penniless artist and his daughter." Tears welled in Harrison's eyes. He remembered that day vividly. Eleanor had come to him, her eyes red from crying. She'd said she couldn't see him anymore, that it was over. He had been devastated, his heart shattered. He never knew why. He had assumed she'd stopped loving him, but the letter told a different story. "I love you, Henry," he read, his voice a choked whisper. "I will always love you. My father forced my hand. He threatened to ruin your career before it even began. I couldn't let that happen. Leaving you is the hardest thing I've ever had to do, but I'm doing it to protect you. I've hidden this letter in the secret compartment of the old grandfather clock. Maybe one day you'll find it and understand. Live a wonderful life, my love. Be the great artist I know you will be. All my love, forever, Eleanor." The grandfather clock. It had been in the main hall. He'd sold it with the house, never knowing the secret it held. All these years, he had lived with a broken heart, believing he'd been abandoned. All these years, Eleanor had loved him. He had become a recluse, his passion for art fading into bitterness. He never painted again. He had let his life become a gray canvas because he thought the color had left with her. Just then, the moving truck started its engine. Tom and Lily got into their car. Harrison stood up, the letter clutched in his hand. He ran towards them, waving his arms. "Wait. Please, wait." Tom stopped the car and rolled down the window, a look of confusion on his face. Harrison, breathless, handed the letter to Lily. This is for me," he stammered. "You dropped it. Where did you find it?" Lily's eyes widened. "Oh my goodness. We were cleaning out the old grandfather clock before the movers took it. There was a loose panel in the back. This was tucked inside. We thought it belonged to the house as original owners, and we're going to leave it for the new buyers. But I must have forgotten." Harrison's world tilted. "The grandfather clock, ... Are you selling it?" he asked, his voice filled with a desperate hope. "No," Tom replied. "It's an antique. We're taking it with us to our new home." A wave of relief washed over Harrison. Can I buy it from you?" he asked, his voice trembling. "It means more to me than you could ever know. I'll pay you whatever you ask." Seeing the raw emotion on the old man's face and glancing at the tear-stained letter in Lilia's hand, The couple exchanged a knowing look. "You don't have to buy it," Lily said gently. "It belongs with you." The next day, the grandfather clock was delivered to Harrison's small apartment. It was just as he remembered it, tall and majestic. He ran his hand over the polished wood, his fingers tracing the familiar carvings. He had spent 50 years in a self-imposed prison of grief and misunderstanding. Now, the truth had set him free. The following morning, for the first time in decades, Old Man Harrison didn't go to the park bench. Instead, he went to an art supply store. He bought a new set of canvases, brushes, and a vibrant array of paints. Back in his apartment, sunlight streamed through the window, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air. He set up an easel, the scent of turpentine and oil paint filling the small space. It was a smell he'd thought he'd forgotten, the smell of his youth, of his passion, of his love for Eleanor. He looked at the old clock, a silent witness to a love story that had spanned a lifetime. Then he looked at the blank canvas. He picked up a brush, dipped it in a bright, hopeful yellow, and made his first stroke. It wasn't just painting a picture. He was painting a new beginning. He was painting for Eleanor. He was painting for the life they could have had, and for the life he was finally ready to live. The bitterness was gone, replaced by a profound, bittersweet gratitude. Love, he realized, had a way of finding its way back, even after a lifetime. And as he painted, the old man smiled, his heart finally at peace. He was Henry again.